Canada becomes the third country after France and the UK to recognize a Palestinian state. Canada's plan to recognize a Palestinian state is a major win for the pro-Palestinian cause. But what does this actually mean? And how will it help the Palestinians? Well, not much in the short term, but it's a step in the right direction. Canada is not a big player on the global stage, so its recognition of Palestine won't have any immediate real-world effect. It won't bring the Palestinians any closer to an independent state. That's because Canada doesn't have any real leverage over Israel. They don't control any significant amount of aid money. They're really not a major trading partner of Israel, and they have no intention of boycotting Israeli goods or services. So why did they do it? Because it's the right thing to do. Canada recognizes that the current situation is untenable. A state that was built on dispossession and occupation cannot continue to exist in its current form. At some point, there has to be a resolution to this conflict, and Canada is throwing its weight behind the only realistic solution, a two-state solution. By recognizing Palestine, Canada is putting pressure on Israel to come to the negotiating table. The longer this conflict drags on, the more untenable Israel's position becomes. Eventually, the international community will force Israel to make a decision, either begin meaningful negotiations or get ready to face consequences. Canada has also recognized the demographic realities on the ground. A one-state solution is not going to work. There are simply too many Palestinians and not enough Jews. Even if we put aside the moral implications of this, from a purely pragmatic standpoint, a one-state solution makes no sense. Canada has recognized this and is throwing its support behind a two-state solution. This is a major symbolic victory for the Palestinian cause. When three major Western countries recognize Palestine, it sends a clear message to the world. The status quo is not acceptable. Change is coming. Of course, this doesn't mean that Canada, France, or the UK are going to unilaterally impose a solution on Israel. That would be wrong, and it wouldn't work. These countries have all made a clear commitment to Israel's security. They recognize Israel's right to exist, and they will not do anything to put Israel at risk. What these countries can do, however, is use their influence to nudge Israel in the right direction. They can push Israel to come to the negotiating table and make meaningful concessions. If Israel is serious about wanting peace, then it's time to sit down with the Palestinians and work out a deal. The status quo is not sustainable. And if Israel wants to continue enjoying the support of the international community, it needs to be willing to make some tough decisions. Canada's decision to recognize Palestine is a positive step in the right direction. It puts pressure on Israel to come to the negotiating table, and it sends a clear message that the days of Israeli occupation are over. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe and share this video so that more people get to know the truth about Israel and Palestine.